Now you say, well, Tom, I've been here now for 3 weeks. I've heard you talk about Jesus saying he was the bread of life. I've heard you talk about Jesus saying he was the gate. And I've heard you now are talking about Jesus being the good shepherd. And each time you have said this same thing about Jesus being God. Why are you so insistent on that? Well, I mean, is there something else you can say to us? I mean, shouldn't you say something else about Jesus? I mean, for 3 weeks you've been saying the same thing, that Jesus said he was God. He was not part God, some God, a God, or lesser God. He was God. We've got it. Well, I'm not sure everyone gets it. And that's why I'm going to keep saying it. Because you see, you have to understand that the most important reason that you understand that Jesus is God is that if Jesus were not God, you would still be lost in your sin. God had to give himself as a sacrifice for your sin. There's no created being that God could have created that could have served as your sacrifice. And so it's important that you understand that Jesus was not a created being, but he was God who paid the infinite price for your sin, the sacrifice. That God put on flesh and stepped into this world and gave himself as a sacrifice for you. That was God. That was not a created being. That was not an angel. That was not a good man. That was not a good teacher. That was God in the flesh who gave himself as a sacrifice for you. And it's important that you get that. Only God, the Bible says in 2 Corinthians, only God could take on the sin of the world, die, and be resurrected again. Only God.